Yoana,
Yeah.
I'm looking for a house. I'm
All
looking
right.
for a house in Cary, Apex, or Morrisville, at least 3,000 square feet.
But where are you? Aren't you online on
I'm looking on Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia,
Yeah.
Redfin.
Everybody's looking. Guys, if they get on Zillow, it takes a little bit of time for the homes from the MLS to sync to Zillow. First of all, let me just start off with that. By the time you see them, they might be gone. And I'm talking 20 minutes, an hour, maybe you have a day. Some homes right now go and they never reach the active status. Literally, they don't. We had a case recently with our clients. The home had an agent remarks, which you cannot see on Zillow, by the way. It's only for agents. And it said, we're not accepting any showings. Offer deadline Sunday at 4 p.m. It's a crazy market. We are very proud. I'm super, super proud to share with you that we do the legwork of finding off-market homes. So let me just start. The MLS is still king,
Okay.
Johan. So if you want to look for a home, please have a search added for you and your family in the MLS, because you will be able to see the moment they hit the market in your inbox. And it's going to be with your criteria, just like you can have on any other website. But it's very, very organic. It's the main source that actually feeds all of these other platforms.
But a lot of other agents are doing the same thing for their
Yeah.
buyers, right? So maybe I'm not the only buyer looking for the same type of home.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things about you
Yeah.
is that you're matching our buyers up with
Off markets.
off-market properties, right?
Yes.
And that's one thing that really sets you apart. Not a lot of people are doing it. It's a lot more work. I know that it's,
It is.
a lot more legwork for you, but what does that mean for someone that's looking to buy a home? They can't find it. They're competing against the same people. The same searches that they're looking is popping up for everyone, right?
Yeah.
How does your off-market home help our buyers?
Okay, so we have several strategies, and I am not, afraid per se or whatever to share it. I know that if you're a realtor, you might be watching. Good for you. I want you to do it. I think everybody deserves to understand the legwork and how much effort we need to put into finding a home, into fighting for getting you the offer, to getting you on the contract, to making sure that you are protected, and to understand that buying a home is a big deal. Ultimately, right? You might be getting a $500,000 loan or more. It's just not.
And
just
especially
simple,
now,
okay?
Joanna, like this is really
Especially
an
now.
investment, a long-term investment, right?
Long-term.
Because a lot of investors are not flipping properties right now because,
Yeah.
values
Not
are
the
going
best
up.
ROI for
Right.
the investors right now. They're
So
like,
it's most of the
"Oh."
first-time home buyers, maybe the move-up buyers, and then the relocating buyers that are
Yeah.
coming from other states.
Right.
And that's really the problem, right?
Yes.
That there's no inventory, high demand.
High demand, no inventory. Inventory dropped just February to last February, 63.3%. Pricing is increasing. We're seeing a lot of offers on top of asking price. So there's several things that we're doing. Okay, we've dropped. We can still walk. We can literally still door knock for you. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say
way,
that.
right?
Old school. Hello, Mr. Seller. Do you want to sell your house? We do have resources that we can pull for finding you. For sale by owners. We're looking at expireds. We're calling agents that are focusing on certain neighborhoods to see whether or not they might have something coming on the market. We are looking at the homes that are rented that have rented a month, like a year ago or so, in specific neighborhoods, to see whether or not that potential seller might be interested. We know where they live, right? Because we're looking on the government's website, and then literally we find the phone numbers, we call them. Hey, are you considering maybe selling this home?
Text messages,
Many
right?
other ways. Yeah. It's just the way to do it. And some people are so happy because their renters don't want to show the home. They don't want to show the home. They don't care about any of that. And believe it or not, some sellers are still not only about the money. They really care about the family that needs to be in a certain neighborhood for their children. They really care about someone that's going to take care of their house because maybe they've been there for 20 years and they love their home. So it's not only a financial move, it's an emotional move. And to have someone on your side that understands that and understands that and is really doing the legwork. I mean, it's really triple the work per se.
Yoana,
Right.
what do you tell the sellers, that maybe they were thinking about selling before the pandemic
Yeah.
and, they held off because they didn't want people coming in the home, or maybe they didn't know what was going to happen. And then,
I understand.
school being,
Yeah.
done virtually and things like that. But maybe now as things start to open back up, this may be a good time to sell, right? I mean, what's your opinion?
It's definitely a good time to sell. I mean, seriously, to make so much money on your sale, it's unprecedented times. It's definitely a good time to sell your home. And for you as well, before the interest rates are increasing, as a seller, while you can, if you're getting a loan, while you're still catching that wave, there's absolutely no better way to do it. And we will look obviously at new construction as well. But you gotta be proactive. You cannot just kind of wait around and see, maybe the bubble is gonna burst. Nobody knows. Just know that you have a lot of ways of doing things. Even as a seller, you don't have to go on a contract and immediately close, right? You can do a rent back. There's ways we can work upfront with your potential buyer to accommodate your timing, to accommodate everybody, to make sure that you're happy and you're not rushing into something. But if you are looking into new construction, then this is not a 3-month process. It could be 6-8 months. They're having a lot of delays. We're right now in delays with, I don't even know how many, new construction, right? Where we thought we were going to close in January, February. Right now we're in March. We don't know when we're going to close.
Yoana, what if they're afraid of having a contingency on the contract? I guess if they're purchasing a resale or a new construction, do you see that being an issue? Because, something that I also think about is, well, if the seller of the home that you're buying, if they're also buying another home, right? They need a place to live.
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be contingencies.
Contingency after contingency.
After contingency.
And
so why be afraid of the contingency?
Yeah, I don't think that you should be afraid of the contingency per se. If we determine that the buyer is a strong buyer, I understand the concept of or I guess what you're concerned about, because obviously if they're buyers, and that with COVID things have changed when it comes to, how do you qualify? What we've seen though, when it comes to contingency, we want to make sure that the buyer and the buyer's buyer, or you as a buyer, you can actually work remotely. Like the stringencies of qualifying for a loan have changed, right?
Got it. Okay.
We as agents and you as a lender want to make sure that they are qualified, and we're not getting in underwriting 2 days before closing to find out that their HR department doesn't actually allow them to work from home. We're doing all this due diligence. We're screening in a different way, right? So I already know. I call Johan, and we've had buyers that said, "Oh, we had other lenders that qualified us," and I'm like, "Okay, I appreciate it. We're never going to push you in using him or me or anyone. Feel free to do your due diligence and ask around and interview other lenders." But I already know if Johan says, "Look, we have a red flag," we're probably not going to accept that buyer's application, and I will not advise you as your listing agent to actually go under contract with that particular person.
So, Yoana, what I'm hearing really is communication, right? Communication between all parties, the buyer's agent, the listing agent, the lender, seller, the buyers, because I've seen it on my side too, where it's a chain reaction, and sometimes they're able to make the deal work because they understand the position where the seller and the buyer is, right? Because, if I'm selling a home and the person that I'm buying from is also selling a home, well, maybe I'm going to be a little bit more flexible with them, right? And giving them the extra days for them to...
The story. What's the story? Once the lender knows, we know, the listing agent or the buyer's agent know, we can come together and actually make things happen. And again, this is definitely a team effort here, right? So we want to know exactly what's happening with you, with your family, if you're a buyer, if you're a seller, and we can share that story. And the lender can tell me and can tell the listing agent or the buyer's agent, right? I'm looking at myself as both here, what the story is. Why do we need to buy the home? What do we need to do in order for you, Mr. Seller, to find you a home? So it's really about telling stories, communicating in a timely manner, because you really do not have time to wait around for a lender to call you the next day or for an agent to call you the next day. when the house is going active in the morning, within 10 minutes, it's already booked. They only allow 10 to 15 minutes time slots because of COVID. There's no overlapping showings. So literally when we look online or when you look on Zillow, you don't see what we're looking at on the back end. Like blocked. Maybe we have a time slot at 8:30 at night.
Wow.
So that's kind of where we're at. Interesting times. If you guys have any questions, we're here.
Yep. So I guess, working with a professional, working with someone that knows the area where you're looking to buy, especially if you're watching this from out of state, you really want to work with someone that understands the area where you're looking, right? So communicate with Yoana, communicate with me. Don't get discouraged. You could definitely do it if you're looking to buy, if you're looking to sell. It's still a good time, right? Everyone asks Yoana, is this a good time to buy?
Yes.
And it's still a good time to buy, very good time to sell. Keep at it. Don't get discouraged.
Keep at it. Subscribe, like, share with anyone. We really appreciate your business. Really appreciate supporting this whole crazy world right now. We would not be here without you guys. So thank you again for everything.
Let us know what you want us to talk about, right?
Absolutely.
Leave some comments. Tell us what you want the next video to be on.
Yeah, and we'll be right on it.
We'll do the best we can. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.